Hi, my name is Eddie Santos. I'm a retired Army Sergeant with more than 23 years, and I am a disabled vet. I've been all over the place trying to get assistance for my disability. And as for right now, the only person that seemed to help me out was when I went to the congressman's office, tried to get some assistance for him to help me get my prosthetic leg fixed. So finally the congressman had me the opportunity to go to Palo Alto in San Jose, California, where they finally fixed my prosthetic. If you need help and you seem to not get it anywhere, you should go see our congressman with the people he has there to help us veterans get what we need and what we deserve for doing our time in service for the freedom of our island and for our country.
This ad was paid for with official funds from the office of Congressman Michael F.Q. San Nicolas.
A lot has changed overnight, but Buick and GMC's commitment to you remains the same. We understand you want to feel safe, so we're offering current owners complimentary OnStar Crisis Assist services. Should you need a vehicle, we're offering 0% financing for up to 84 months with deferred payment options for 120 days. Plus, you may have the option to shop online and take delivery at home. Visit our websites for the help you need.
Visit AutoSpot GMC today.
Funerals actually take a lot more planning than I expected. With us using Island Cuisine for the first time, of course we were iffy, but once they came and showed us their service, their food, tasted their food and everything, we definitely use them again because their service and food is just awesome.
The pompous
and elite wish we go away
because we are
real and direct.
No interest owns us,
and we have no interest but the truth.
Together we are exposing
corruption.
Together we will reform criminal justice.
Together
we are fighting violence
against women and children.
We here at
Kandit
will shine the light
on every corner of darkness.
Together we are giving a voice
to the voiceless
and forgotten.
Stay lit.
Together.
Together.
Together. Together.
Together we are giving a voice
to the voiceless and
forgotten. We are Kandit News Group.
Mr. God 2019. I just want all of the sailors in the USS TR to know that I'm thinking and praying for you. Thank you. Bye.
Hafa, my name is Kai, and on behalf of the Island Cuisine family, I would like to send out a great big Undunkalunesi Ziwas Maasi. Thank you to all USS Theodore Roosevelt sailors for all that you do. We wish and send all prayers for a speedy recovery, and we will keep you all in our thoughts. Thank you for your service. God bless.
Hafa, my family and I extend our deepest condolences to the friends, family, shipmates of the USS Theodore Roosevelt, sailor who passed away recently. May we join the people of Guam in extending our prayers and our support, and may God continue to provide comfort and strength during this very difficult time. Sudus Masi.
Hafaday, I'm Jim Moylan, and I want to extend my condolences to the family members and the loved ones of Chief Petty Officer Charles Tracker Jr., who had passed and was amongst those who tested positive for the coronavirus on the USS Theodore Roosevelt. I understand the hardship one experiences while serving our country. I appreciate the time and effort our military members put in to protect our country and her borders and the sacrifices they made, most especially at a time like this with the extremities of COVID-19, where we all are in a fight not many have experienced before. To all those affected by this, let's keep them in our thoughts and prayers. We are in this fight together, and we will weather the storm together. Stay safe and protected, and may God bless the sailors of the USS Theodore Roosevelt, and God bless Guam.
Buenas and welcome back to our show. I'm Troy Torres.
And I'm Johnny Rosario.
This one is dedicated to live phone calls, but before we get to that, Johnny is going to read to you a fact sheet, frequently asked questions that the Department of Revenue and Taxation released today regarding the cash assistance that may be coming next week, depending on Department of Revenue and Taxation being able to reconcile figures with the Internal Revenue Service to make sure that people don't get duplicated or duplicate checks from the first advance round that the governor gave. So without further ado, go take it from here.
Question 1 is, what is an economic impact payment? The Coronavirus Aid, Relief, Economic Security Act, CARES Act, provides for direct economic impact payments to Americans for financial relief during the coronavirus pandemic. The economic impact payment is a refundable credit which provides up to $1,200 for individuals, $1,200 for joint filers, and $500 additional for each qualifying child ages 16 and under. Who is eligible? A U.S. citizen or U.S. resident alien cannot be claimed as a dependent or on someone else's return. You must have a social security number that is valid for employment. Exception if either spouse is a member of the U.S. Armed Forces at any time during the taxable year, then only one spouse needs to have a valid SSN. Have adjusted gross income below an amount based on your filing status and the number of your qualifying children. $75,000 for individuals if their filing status was single or married filing separately, $112,500 for head of household filers, and $150,000 for married couples filing joint. Taxpayers will receive a reduced payment if their AGI is between $75,000 and $99,000, or $112,500 and $136,500 for head of household, $150,000 through $198,000 if they're filing married, filing jointly. If you are if I am eligible to receive an economic impact payment, what do I need to do? In order for our office to pay out the advance EIP, you must file a 2019 or 2018 income tax return or submit an EIP non-filer form. Question 4, what income tax year will be used to determine my eligibility for an economic impact payment? If you already filed your tax return for 2019 and Guam DRT has processed a valid 2019 Guam individual income tax return at the time of certification of EIP to be paid, then Guam DRT shall determine, based on the individual's 2019 income tax return, the amount of the EIP that the individual would be allowed. If an eligible individual has not filed a 2019 Guam individual income tax return, or if filed and Guam DRT has not processed the individual's 2019 tax return at the time of certification of the EIP to be paid, but has filed a valid 2018 income tax return that Guam DRT has processed at such time, then Guam DRT shall determine based on the individual's 2018 income tax return the amount of the EIP that the eligible individual would be allowed. Would I receive a payment if I do not make enough money to normally have to file an income tax return? Yes, residents of Guam who are eligible retirees and recipients of SS retirement, disability, survivors benefits, railroad retirement, and veterans benefits, as well as individuals who do not make enough money to normally have to file a tax return, are also eligible for the payment. This includes those who have no income, as well as those whose income comes entirely from the federal benefit programs, such as supplemental security benefits. No minimum income is needed for the payment. Number 6, is filing an income tax return the only thing I have to do to be eligible for the economic payment? Filing a tax return is the only one layer of process to determine whether an individual is eligible. A taxpayer should not only have filed an income tax return, they should also meet income requirements, as well as the following: have a valid SS number or adoption taxpayer identification number. The following are not eligible for EIP: non-resident alien individuals, individuals claimed as a dependent, estates, trusts, partnerships, or S corporations, deceased individuals, and incarcerated individuals. I recently filed a tax return. What do I need to do to get the payment? You do not need to take any further action. If an eligible individual has not filed a 2019 income tax return, or if filed and Guam DRT has not processed the 2019 return at the time of certification, the EIP to be paid, but has filed a 2018 tax return Guam DRT has processed at such time, then Guam DRT shall determine based on the individual's 2018 individual return the amount of the EIP that the eligible individual will be allowed. Number 8, I haven't filed a return for 2019 or 2018 and don't need to file tax returns for those years. I receive Social Security, etc. What do I need to do to get a payment? You have to provide basic information to DRT to receive your payment. That's that form that we've been putting out, right? You just need to fill that out. I haven't filed a Guam income tax return for 2019 and 2018 and don't receive Social Security, retirement, or any other benefits. You need to fill out that form again. I did not file a return for 2019 or 2018. How do I know if I'm required to file a tax return? You may use the IRS Interactive Tax Assistance. Please go there. It's at www.irs.gov. Follow the program on that. What is an economic impact payment? Non-filer EIP form. That's the form when you don't make any money or made only $300 for the year, or $500 or $800, and you didn't file a return. You filed that piece of paper. It's on guamtax.com. And if you don't have a printer, I could try to help you. You can go to a printer place. There's a lot of people trying to help other people out there.
You don't have to go to...
You don't have to go to Saludo,
tax preparers and get ripped off $45 for half a sheet of paper that you need to fill out.
Number 13, I need to file a tax return, but I am concerned about visiting a tax professional or local community organization in person right now to get help with my tax return. How long is the payment available? Payments will be made throughout the rest of 2020. If you do not receive a payment this year, you can also claim it by filing your tax return 2020 next year. Will DRT contact me about my payment? No, they will not. Everything is by mail. If you have questions after they processed everything and they're sending out and you didn't get a check, call them. What is the amount of payment I will receive? Once again, $1,200 for single, $2,400 for married couple, and $500 for each child under 16 years old. So if you and your husband have 10 kids, you're gonna get 10 times 500 plus 2,400. Okay?
What if you and your husband have 5 kids and your husband has 3 more?
Huh?
On the side? On the side.
On the side?
On the side, yeah. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
No. File a what is that? Injured spouse report because the baby mama gonna take it all, baby.
Someone called domestic violence? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, how about that?
Number 17. I filed a joint return with my spouse. Will we receive a payment if I have a valid SSN and my spouse has an individual taxpayer identification number? No, when spouse files jointly, both spouses must have an SSN to receive payment, with one exception. If either spouse is a member of the U.S. Armed Forces. I read that already, right? If spouses file separately, the spouse who has an SSN may qualify for a payment. The other spouse without a valid SSN will not qualify. What is meant by a valid SSN? Everybody needs a social security number, 586 for Guam. They ran out of those numbers already, right?
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm too
The
old
beginning.
to know that.
It's your what you do when you work. You got to pay into Social Security. Sorry, I lost my spot. Is a child born, adopted, or placed into foster care in 2020 qualifying child for payment? The payment is in 2020 will not include additional amount for these children because the payment in 2020 is based only on information from your 2019 and 2018 return. That doesn't make sense. Oh, you can claim it next year. I received an additional $500 payment in 2020 for my qualifying child. However, he just turned 17. Will I have to pay back the $500 next year? No, there is no provision in the law requiring repayment of a payment.
Yeah.
Huh?
Payment of a payment?
If they paid you, you don't have to pay back. Okay? A repayment of a payment. I claimed my child as a dependent on 2019 tax return. She is graduating from school in 2020. As long as she is 16 and below, she will qualify. It doesn't matter if they're going to college or anything. The age is 16. Number 22, I claimed my mom as a dependent. Will I receive additional pay? No. If you are claimed as a dependent on someone else's tax return, whether you're an adult or not, you do not qualify. Number 23, I think the amount of my economic impact payment is incorrect. If you do not receive the full amount in which you believe you are entitled, you will be able to claim the additional amount when you file your 2020 tax return. Is the payment taxable on 2020 income? No, the payment is not income and you will not owe tax on your payment. If you owe tax or have payment agreement with DRT or owe the federal government of Guam debts, will my payment be reduced? No, with one exception, past due child support. They cannot take it if you owe GMH. They cannot take it if you owe in taxes, property tax, or anything. Only child support. How will DRT know where to send my payment? DRT will use your mailing address that is on your tax form. My address is different from the last return I filed. You need to do a change report on guamtax.com, print out the paper.
Is it guamtax.com or myguamtax.com?
It's oh, they're giving IRS forms here.
But on this change of address form, what email? I mean, what web address would it give?
My Guam tax.
Oh, myguamtax.com.
Yeah,
Okay.
sorry. Will I get the payment if I am not a U.S. citizen or U.S. permanent resident? U.S. resident aliens with a valid SSN are available for the payment if they cannot be claimed as a dependent on another taxpayer, by another taxpayer. What if I receive an erroneous economic impact payment amount? If an erroneous economic impact payment was made and you have not cashed the check, we ask that you return the check to our office at the following address: Department of Revenue and Taxation, attention EIP return payment, P.O. Box 23607, Barrigada, Guam 96921. If you go on our website, www.kanditnews.com, these frequently asked questions are there.
So those are the facts.
Yeah.
Facts. FAQs, right?
Yeah.
Frequently asked questions. So thank you to Daphne Shimizu for providing that to us. We have that on the full listing is on our website and on our Facebook page now. If you haven't signed up for our website yet, that's really how you can get the news first. It's the very first place that news publishes from Kandit. It's www.kanditnews.com, and all you have to do is sign up. There's also a donate button if you feel like donating to our cause. We very much appreciate that. If you want to donate for the food drive, all you have to do is in your donation place a note that says, I would like this to go to purchasing food for the hungry. And the reason why there was a lot of noise while Johnny was talking was because my boyfriend was bringing in all of the food supplies from outside. Apparently, while I took a nap. That's why we're back on so late. While I was taking a nap in those 45 minutes, apparently there was truckloads of food that came in. Are we able to say who any of the donors are?
Thank you, Emily. Thank you, Maria and Felix. They're one group.
Wow. It's amazing. It's amazing. And like sacks of rice. We have to open up the sacks of rice and like repackage it into the Ziploc bags so that more families are able to. I think we're doing 5 pounds at a time.
Yes.
So that
but if they have 3 kids or 4 kids and if they want another bag, I give the bag.
Okay.
I give them 2 bags.
Cool. And we also have, well, not us, but we're promoting a second food drive that the Guam Daily Post is coordinating, our sister media agency. From now to Monday, May 11, you can drop off your donations at Guam Daily Post. Call them at 649-1924 if you need directions to them. And if you need to get food from them, call, again, 649-1924, or go to their office. It's right across Denny's in Tamuning at the Cortec corporate office. The Daily Post, I believe, is on the 2nd or the 3rd floor. I can't remember which one anymore. But we're going to start off our early evening show because we have an evening show after this. There's a lot of news that has to be dispensed with. An early evening show with phone calls. And the first person we're going to try to get a hold of, because she told us to call her back today, is Maria Pangilinan, the Executive Director of the Guam Election Commission, on our questions regarding recall. And I'm eating fried pork with lemai in coconut milk. I know a couple people were asking. Johnny made it really good. We got the lemai from our sister Norma Jean.
The executive director?
Yes. It sounds like she's on the other line because it's making that beep sound after each. We can circle back to this if she is. Okay. We're going to come back to that. We have some questions for the Joint Information Center now.
Good afternoon, Guam Homeland Security.
Hi, may I please have the Joint Information Center?
Sure, Kandit.
Thank you very much.
think like there's a red light or like a red sound. Woo, 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 Troy's on the phone. They never answered about the food, right?
No, they didn't.
So you're gonna get high blood with the lemai, Troy? No answers.
Patty says, I see you and Johnny eating. Please don't forget to feed our boy Eric.
Oh, never.
He's
we
the
never
first one.
forget Auntie
He's
Patty.
the first one to eat. He has to try my food first.
Rose Mano says, Troy, you high blood.
Oh, make sure you say thank you to our auntie from another panty.
Oh, okay.
She dropped gas and food, rice and stuff.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Thanks, our auntie from another panty. Oh, interesting.
Want to try my phone?
I guess nobody's there.
I think they know that number. That's
Go, Guam has caller ID.
Oh, yeah. Hi, I'm still looking for the Joint Information Center.
Okay, the Joint Information Center is
Currently closed.
Is there a contact number that I can give them?
Has the public health emergency ended?
Okay, stand by.
Wrong answer, Cello.
I mean, that's a simple yes or no. Has the public health emergency ended?
Dude, they're probably on the side fence.
No, they're like this, right?
Yeah.
And then he said, "Oh, we're closed."
I'm sorry, who's this?
Queenie?
Hi, Queenie. Are you with the Joint Information Center?
No, I'm from GMH, but like, let me double check if they're still open. Can I have you on hold for a bit?
Yes, thank you.
One moment.
They're like this. So he's like, "Oh, we're closed." They're like, "No, no."
Hi there.
Hi.
It is closed, sorry.
You know, I'm wondering, has the public health emergency been ended?
No, I believe we're still under public health emergency.
So I'm wondering, why is the Joint Information Center closed?
Closed? Oh, they operate from, what do you call that? They operate from 8 to 5?
I didn't realize that during an emergency activation, either the Emergency Operations Center or the Joint Information Center closes.
The joint operation? The EOC is operating 24/7.
Okay. Oh, I'm glad to know that the EOC is operating 24/7. May I please speak with the commander of the EOC?
May I ask who's calling?
Troy Torres with Kandit News.
One moment.
Thank you. Rita Arceo, you're right. It shouldn't be closed. Yes.
May I direct you to Charles?
Is Mr. Estevez there? Yes.
Yes, 478-0202.
Oh, you cannot transfer the phone?
No, sorry, I don't know how to
Okay.
transfer here.
Okay, that's fine. I'll call that number now. He's gonna answer, right?
I'm not too sure, honestly. Wait, one moment.
Thanks. Cecile Rages says, abandoned ship.
For real.
Lorenzo Cabo Sr. says, oh my God, we are doomed. Frank Cruz, we are trying to get answers from. Hi.
Hi, can you call his cell phone?
Yes, I'll call his cell phone right now. Thank you.
He's expecting your call.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Okay, bye.
Hafaday Chuck, thank you so much for taking our call. This is Johnny and Troy and Candid Land viewers.
Hafaday again.
Hi. So we have a few questions and we hope that you're able to provide answers for us. And this is regarding the COVID-19 activation. And the government of Guam has been, all of the agencies have been very specific that if we have any questions that we have to call the Joint Information Center, and so here we are. So the first is, yesterday or last night, we called the Pacific Star Hotel and we asked to be connected to the penthouse, which is room 1909, and we were told that the line to the penthouse was busy repeatedly over a couple of minutes, but that Rebecca Respicio was actually at the front desk. So our question is, who is staying in the penthouse?
That's a good question. I have no clue who's staying there.
Are you able to get an answer for us tonight?
I mean, I can call reception after, but I don't know who's staying there, to be honest.
Were you aware that the penthouse was still being used even after this controversy broke the news?
No, not at all.
Okay. Are you aware of complaints about the conditions at the Pacific Star Hotel for the residents and travelers staying there, and also that at least 2 people who stayed there contracted scabies from the hotel?
No, I'm not checking that either.
So that hasn't been brought to your attention?
The only numbers that get reported to us are the number of rooms occupied and also the number of rooms, the number of people total at those places. But yeah, those types of questions, they're normally handled up through Rebecca.
Okay, well, we tried to talk to her last night. We were told by front desk that she was too busy to talk to us. And then they or someone who sounded exactly like Janela Carrera hung up on us. About the Wyndham Gardens site, is it true that Arlene Santos, the director of the library, is the hall watcher at the Wyndham Gardens?
Oh, I don't know. But let me go to write that down, though.
I'm sorry?
Sorry. Let me go to write these things down.
Okay. I'll hold on so you're able to catch up there.
Yeah. Okay, so who's that person?
Arlene Santos, the library director.
Okay, and you're asking if she is
if Arlene is the hall monitor or the manager or whatever of the quarantine or isolation over at the Wyndham.
I don't know that, but we can find out.
Okay. The next question is regarding hygiene products. Is the Bureau of Women's Affairs doing anything about the needs of young women and girls for hygiene products for them? You know, like Kotex, tampons, things like that.
Yeah. Yeah, so, you know, in the request for the hygiene products, they haven't come to the OC, but I can find out if, so the Bureau of Women's Affairs, you're wondering what's their role in the quarantine facilities.
Not just quarantine facilities. I'm talking about some sort of hygiene products bank for underserved, underprivileged girls and women.
Feminine hygiene products?
Yes.
Okay, feminine hygiene products.
Has Jane Flores been part of the emergency activation at all? Do you know? Have you ever seen her there?
Not in the emergency operations center, but I'm not sure if she has another role up there in the government.
Has feminine hygiene products been a discussion for the underprivileged and underserved?
Not that I know of.
No? Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, so like for example, you know, food has been an issue, so we worked the Nebraska issue with, you know, GDP, but hygiene products of any kind hasn't been something reported to the DOC.
Okay, thank you. There is a notation of an expenditure of $6 million in CARES Act funding from going to the Department of Administration for the purchase or for services for a data system. I was wondering exactly how does the government of Guam know that that will cost $6 million without competitive bidding?
With the CARES Act funding, I'm not sure.
Is that something you're able to source for us as well, or have the joint information source for us?
So this is CARES Act funding specifically for Department of Revenue taxes.
No, DOA.
Oh, DOA.
Yeah.
So DOA.
For a data system, and they noted down that it'll cost $6 million. We're wondering, how do they know that without a competitive process in place?
Okay. So CARES Act funding, DOA done $6 million.
Yes, and then our last question is, I can't remember the exact citation in law, but according, and I believe it's Title IX, the price gouging law. I could be wrong though about the title, but according to the price gouging law, whenever a state of emergency is in effect at a certain core level, and the governor has made this clear, I believe it was March 14 or March 16, where she implemented these price gouging provisions in an executive order. Merchants are not supposed to be increasing their prices even to accommodate the economic conditions that arise because of the emergency. But today we found out that gas companies are increasing their prices by 15 cents a gallon. Is something being done about, is some notice going out to these gas companies that according to our price gouging laws, they cannot increase their prices?
I don't know, but I do know that we have received price gouging complaints, and we went ahead and forwarded those complaints to the AG's office. So I mean that's the extent of when we receive these calls. I know there are a lot of social media posts out there regarding price gouging. You know, we've seen some for water, we've seen some for hand sanitizer, and a lot of PPE as well. So you know, we consolidate those reports and send it up to the AG's office.
Okay.
But it's something that we personally take care of here at the Emergency Operations Center.
Okay. Well, can you lodge this as our complaint on the gas stations price gouging the price of gas, and send this to the AG's office?
Yeah. So it and I can go ahead and forward you the email for price gouging as well.
Okay. Thank you.
So down one of the releases if someone is believes someone is suspected of price gouging, then you can go ahead and send an email to the AG's office and make that inquiry.
Is that price gouging at oagguam.com?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you so much, Chuck. Do you have any questions for Chuck?
No.
Yeah, no worries. And also, there's also another email, the Consumer Protection Are you tracking that? Consumer protection at oagguam.org.
Consumer protection at oagguam.org. Okay, got it.
Yeah, so that's the Consumer Protection Division of the Office of the Attorney General.
Okay.
But additionally, if anyone's unable to email, the number I have is 475 3324.
What extension?
Extension 3300.
3300. Thank you so much.
Yeah, so
Thank you, Chuck.
all right.
Okay, you have a good night. And if you can get it back to us with that information tonight, it'd be greatly appreciated.
Yep, not a problem.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Right.
Bye.
We're gonna come back to more of those questions. We're gonna call a couple of other places, but let's check Maria Pangilinan first. Wow, these guys are unbelievable. They're just having a hotel vacation at the expense of the people. Hi, Maria.
Hello.
Hi, Maria. This is Johnny and Troy, and with our Kandit viewers.
I'm sorry?
Hi, Maria. This is Johnny Rosario and Troy Torres.
How can I help you?
Hi. So you told me to call you back today after looking at the citation in law about the recall.
Johnny.
Hello?
Half hour? Hello?
Can I call you in a half hour? Yeah, not a problem. Not a problem.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll try to get that information for you in a half hour.
Actually, I have the information. I was just wondering if you could clarify something for me.
Okay, I can try.
Okay, so according to the law, it says that a recall election can be triggered by either a 2/3 vote of the legislature in favor of a recall or a petition for such a recall to the legislature by registered voters equal in number to at least 50% of the total number of votes cast at the general election at which such official was elected preceding the filing of the petition. So, according to the documents or the report that you guys put out of the 2018 gubernatorial election, if you add up the votes for the candidates, there were a total of 27,745 votes cast in that election. And so half of that would be 13,873. Am I getting the math correct on that?
I'd have to take a look at it.
Okay.
Because I'd have to take a look at it. I'm sorry.
Okay. So we'll call you back.
I'm sorry, Johnny. I'm driving right now.
Okay, we'll call you back then. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you. Right. 647 star. Oh, 649 star. Hi, Hafaday. May I please be connected to room 1909?
One moment, sir.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
That's a long phone connection, right? Normally it's just 2 buttons, right? TD says, have mercy on us. Marshall R.C. Jr. says, Governor Liu has just taken office, not even her second year. Her budget was granted at almost $1 billion. Now, why are they upgrading their computer systems and doing all these purchases? Shouldn't those items have been purchased and have been addressed when the governor was in transition? Good question. Betty Duke says, tomorrow we will know, LOL. Don't let me sing, guys. Don't let me sing. Jimmy Corruption says you should check the FDIC if any banking regulations have been violated. Actually, that is a question that we have into the governor's office, and they have not responded to that question. Also, John Jr. Cavo has not made sure that his governor's office communication staffers responded to our questions. The question that we have for the governor's office about food, they still haven't answered. They haven't even answered our very simple question of, have the governor and lieutenant governor personally given food to a hungry family during this entire 7-week period? They won't even answer that. I'm pretty
sure they did in the last 2 days.
I think now we know the answer to that question. You know, they refuse to answer it, so, you know. I don't know why they just don't lie like they always do. Rudy Magellanes says, Troy, I think the longer this drags on, the government of Guam will milk the feds for everything they can. Michael San Juan says, they're surely stalling. Amy Jackson says, maybe she is sitting right in front of her again. Martina Cruz says, call front desk to be connected to the kitchen or housekeeping. Nicole Flores says, I'm telling it to you, Troy, everyone left already. Clock out. Raynette Sablon says, when these people see Troy's number on their caller ID, they avoid him like he's the credit collection agency. I avoid the credit collection agency. Read our sales. The sun will come out tomorrow. Andrew D. Rayred says, oh, this is going really fast. Where did it go? Son of a gun. Says, Troy, you should do a site visit to Pacific Star. They have like National Guard security there, like at the front or something, so it's not possible. John Torrey Manzanonia says, in 30 minutes, the island is starving. Cecilia Regis says, connect to room service. TD says, you should show up in person while you're on hold. Ah, I love doing that. Stephanie Garrido says, my son stayed at Pac Star for quarantine and said the food sucked. That's very alarming music that's happening on that Pac Star phone.
Half a day, this is Johnny.
Okay, where did you work? You work at Pacific Laundry? But currently? You're currently working at Pacific Laundry? And when did you get laid off? Oh, okay, why don't you come to tomorrow? You have a new Fujitsu van?
Honest to God, this phone connection is taking forever. I mean, are they going to tell us that the line is just continuously busy at room 1909?
No, they didn't have a meeting to tell everybody now what to answer. Guys, if you know people that need people that need food because they're hungry, send them our way. 977-082.
Can you call the Pacific Star from your phone and ask to speak to Rebecca Respicio?
Sure.
649-7826, I think. Star. 649 star.
Wrong. 7827. Hi, Rebecca Respicio, please.
One moment, please.
Same music.
We have double music going on right now.
Are they in sync?
Yes, they're in sync. Hi, may I speak with Rebecca Respicio? What room is this?
This is the lobby.
Oh, this is the lobby. Are you with Public Health or with the Pacific Star Hotel?
No, I'm not with either.
Are you with the government of Guam?
Yes, I am.
Oh, may I ask who's speaking?
My name is Alice Tyron.
Hi, Miss Tyron. This is Troy Torres with Kandit News.
Yes, Troy. Hello.
Hi, we'd like to know who is staying in the presidential suite.
Well, I don't know of any presidential suite.
Okay, room 1909.
Well, Rebecca and I are here 24/7, and we are staying here at the Pacific Star.
So you and Rebecca are staying in room 1909?
Yes, we are in room 1909.
Okay, thank you. Is anyone else staying in room 1909?
No, sir.
Have you heard about reports of people who stayed at the Pacific Star during this quarantine period who contracted scabies? And if so, what is being done about that situation?
I'm sorry, what was that?
Scabies? Scabies, yes.
I'm sorry, Troy. CB or TB?
Scabies.
Scabies. No,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm not familiar with that.
You guys are not familiar with that?
No, so that would be a public health
Okay.
question. We manage the facility, try to attend to passengers' needs, we feed them, things like that, but I'm not aware of any reports for.
Okay, so we would then ask Bertha Tyron or Linda DeNorsi about that then, right?
Yeah, we do not get information. Well, I don't get information with regard to any health situation here.
Okay.
We just try to make sure that the passengers are fed and brought blankets and things of that sort. But yeah, no, I haven't heard anything.
Okay, what about the living conditions at the hotel? We've heard reports of the rooms being dirty, musty, moldy, and is that something that you guys are hearing about? And if so, what's being done to remedy that?
Yes. So the minute we get information like that from a passenger, we do our best to try and address that, right? If it means moving them to another room, that's best. Now, with regard to the cleanliness of the room, and it's an old building, there are some issues, there are some concerns.
Okay.
We've worked with management. Becky has actually spoken to management. They've tried to bring in the cleaning staff to come in and address that. They do clean. Sometimes we have to clean. So we do try to we try our best to address that. We do try to address the concerns of the passengers. We really do. If it means moving them at 3 o'clock in the morning or 12 noon because it's just not conducive to them, we do our best with whatever rooms we have available.
Okay, thank you. And I just have one more question, and that is, what other cabinet members or staffers of the governor's office are or have stayed at the Pacific Star Hotel during this period?
Okay, so there are currently, well, you have all the information that's been out there in public. There's nobody else here. Becky and I are here because it's 24/7. We can't get people to come and stay or watch for it's difficult to find people. You know, they're scared. COVID-19 is kind of scary, but the same people that have been mentioned in the media, the same people, there's nobody else here other than Becky Respicio and myself, Alice Tyron, and we do have our public health nurse.
Yes.
We have our nurses here, and that's about it. HSP nurse, I'm sorry. It's an HSP nurse, and that's it.
So would that list include Janella Carrera?
Oh, gosh, no.
Adrian Cruz from Department of Agriculture?
No, Adrian does not stay here. Adrian helps here. He's
Okay.
One of our cabinet members helping out.
Helping at the Pacific Star.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you very much, Alice. I very much appreciate your time.
You're welcome.
Okay, you have a good day. Okay, so room 1909, which Alice Tyron, she's the president of the Guam Housing Corporation, does not classify as the presidential suite, though Pacific Star Hotel employees have told us that is the presidential suite. She and Rebecca Respicia are staying in room 1909. She says that the people who've already been reported in the media as having stayed at the Pacific Star Hotel are the ones who stayed at the Pacific Star Hotel, those being Rebecca Respicia, Alice Tyron, and Tony Babauta. She says Janella Carrera has never been there, and she says Adrian Cruz from the Department of Agriculture is part of the help out staff at the Pac Star, but does not stay at the Pac Star. She also said that she has not received complaints about scabies, though that would be a complaint that would be lodged with the Department of Public Health. I don't think we're going to be able to get anyone from Department of Public Health on the line. And she said that she admitted that there are cleanliness issues that the hotel staff and she and Rebecca have tried to deal with. So there's that. Let me see what you're... Denise Pangilinan says scabies, bugs, parasites. Justin Nolan says, I don't know of room 1909. Oh, wait, we're staying there. Nicole Flores says, you feed them sucky food. Shame on you. Michael San Juan says, bed sores. TD says, you not allow presidential suite. John Torrey Manzanoni says, she wouldn't know if she has it. Amy Jackson says, ask if the suite is comp or is it being charged? You know, when we first, the reason we first were onto something, aside from very good source information, was there was a discrepancy between the number of rooms that, according to the emails, were contracted at 388 and an invoice that showed that the government was being charged for 389 rooms. And we were like, hey, there's a glaring discrepancy here in the number of rooms being charged. So, Amy, that's a good question. Nicole Flores says, mildew shiz. Aloni Gates says, no one hears anything like their ears filled with glue. Kiolani Rengul says, let the homeless stay in room 1909 while they go to Paseo. Denise Pangolin says, an email went to public health 2 freaking weeks ago and they never replied back. Amy Jackson agrees with Justin. Al Borja says, Calacas. Oh, Marshall said there was a mic check issue. Amy Jackson says, how much is the charge for the room? It's $100 per room, Amy, for 389 rooms for 14 days with an extension up to 60 days. CD says that room 1909 is obviously never available. It was this time. Oh, you're getting a phone call.
That was nice, Alice.
That was, and she answered all of the questions.
Yep.
You know, I think the Joint Information Center and the governor's communication staff can learn something from Alice Tyron. I mean, yes, so there is, of course, going to be a not-so-pleasant story about the conditions of the hotel, but it's going to be on the hotel, right?
Right.
And there's also going to be a not-so-pleasant story about them staying in the presidential suite.
Right.
But, I mean, she ripped the Band-Aid off on it. We don't believe that she's hiding information because she sounded honest in her responses. It doesn't sound like there was anything, you know, that was fishy. So after those 2 stories that she just confirmed, it's going to be over.
Exactly.
I don't...
Answer the questions.
Yeah, just answer the questions. Carlo Branch could learn something from Alice Tyron. Janella Carrera could learn something from Alice Tyron. My goodness.
Change your mentor, Janella.
So, John Jr. Calvo has not responded to my follow-up on whether his orders to the governor's communication staff were going to be followed, or whether they were going to continue to just ignore their boss, the new chief of staff. I asked, "Hi, John, any answers today?" And he left me on red. We have a news release that has just come in. One second, it's regarding the Med Farm search. Let me read this. Med Farm responds to search. The warrant that was executed at our warehouse location in Guam and Saipan relates to a product called SDS Blocker. The product was marketed and sold to Med Farm as an over-the-counter item by a local Guam distributor. We have voluntarily removed the product from our inventory. Quote, "We take these matters very seriously and we are cooperating fully with all authorities," said Rene Ramos, president of Med Farm Inc. Quote, "Once we were informed by the federal authorities that the product supplied by a local distributor did not meet federal standards, we immediately took action and removed the product from our inventory. This is an isolated event specifically related to the sale of the SDS Blocker product we purchased locally and sold via our wholesale company. The warrant was not related to any other items or operations involving our company. The prescription drugs dispensed in all our pharmacies are legitimate, U.S. sourced and manufactured under strict FDA regulatory compliance," unquote. Actually, I know that to be a fact because when I worked in the government, Med Farm was one of the largest suppliers of pharmaceuticals to Guam Memorial Hospital. And matter of fact, Med Farm allowed GMH to float on its payables to Med Farm for in the millions of dollars at a time. And you have experience with Med Farm, right?
Yes,
from your days?
They're very good people. They donate. They
Okay.
help their employees, you know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you know Rene Ramos?
I've met
I
him
know
him
times.
because of where I used to work. You know,
Okay.
he comes around. I know the employees very well. You know, he's a very good boss.
But this is a legit pharmaceutical company.
Oh, yeah,
And they've been
yeah.
around for
Yes,
more
a
than
long
2
time.
decades.
Yes.
Right? Med Farm is a leading supplier, wholesaler, and distributor of quality healthcare products, including medical equipment and supplies, dental equipment and supplies, radiological laboratory equipment and supplies, as well as pharmaceutical and biomed engineering services to the South Pacific Islands, including Guam, Saipan, Federated States of Micronesia, Marshall Islands, Palau, Fiji, and Western and American Samoa. For more information, please contact Attorney Charles McDonald at 671-683-8886 or via email at aguamlawyer@gmail.com. I cannot believe that because Chuck McDonald is a relatively young attorney, right? But like he's been getting his hits in with some high-profile cases that he's been winning. But I cannot imagine that like of all the lawyers that have been around, none of them reserved the email address guamlawyer@gmail.com until Chuck McDonald comes around. Anyway, and so good to know that Med Farm is clearing its name in this whole thing. It looks like there is the focus of this warrant was another company, whoever distributed the over-the-counter product to Med Farm, and I guess we'll hear more about that in the news or in I don't know if that warrant is in the public domain. We'll try to find out and see if there's any more information that we can give to you. That's breaking news out of the Med Farm and its attorney, Chuck McDonald. Again, that number is 671-683-8886. Now, of the list of questions that we sent to the governor's office and the Joint Information Center that John Jr. Calvo told governor's communication staffers, Carlo Branch and Janella Carrera, to answer, Crystal Paco answered only 2 of the questions, and it was regarding the Abbott ID Now machine. And they did not answer the question, why did the governor give different information on the same day that the government of Guam admitted that it was using the Abbott ID Now machine wrong, less than 12 hours apart. Crystal Paco did not answer that question. She just regurgitated the information that the government of Guam put out in that news release. And then, well, there actually was an extra line I was noticing that Crystal put in. Let me get that real quick.
Can I just say, our inside sources, the machine is at public health right now,
Good.
and it's getting done right.
Oh, good. So they got the training done and everything.
Yes.
Oh, good job.
Yes.
Good job, Gov Guam.
Yes.
Good job, Linda DeNorsi, because she must have led that effort, right?
She did, actually.
Do we have any inside information as to where Linda was on this whole thing? Whether over the last 6 weeks, because you know this forgery thing, right? The governor's saying one thing, Linda's saying another.
Right.
It sounds, and I think maybe I've been too hard on Linda.
I think Linda was caught up in getting things done.
Okay.
And she just was going with.
She just had to follow the orders.
Follow the lead, and then now that it's coming out that people are getting sick, things aren't getting done right. I think she's at a stage where she wants to get it done right.
Okay.
Not only for the people of Guam, but also her employees. You know,
maybe she didn't realize how significant it was.
She didn't. I
Okay.
think so. But our sources say that the Abbott Now ID machine is at public health, and they're getting the testing correct now. They're doing it right.
Good. So the only additional thing that Crystal Paco provided in the response to us was this: despite assurances from the Abbott point of contact technical consultant trainer regarding the use of 1 milliliter VTM. Oh, they're throwing Abbott under the bus now. They're saying that the Abbott guy was wrong. Guam Public Health Laboratory stopped using it for testing of any specimens submitted with VTM since April 28. Okay. Now that's something. Number one, that sounds like a lie unless they moved the machine ever since April 28.
Yeah, they're lying.
But they only moved the machine yesterday according to their release. And if they did move the machine since April 28, that means Governor Lulian Guerrero was lying when she said that they continue to use the 1 milliliter VTM. Man, you know they can't even keep track of their freaking lies at the governor's office. Continuing, to maximize the appropriate use of the platform, Guam Public Health is working to place it at Northern Community Health Center so it can be used to process more direct specimens, without the use of VTM. This means no viral transport medium will be utilized. You know, I think the Lieutenant Governor should go back on Chris and Sabrina's show tomorrow and demand the apology of Carlo Branch and Janela Carrera all over again and get an apology from Governor Lulian Guerrero for lying about this issue.
You know what? You know what's really sad about this testing wrong with the VTM? All those people.
Symptomatic
People, even asymptomatic people, they're cleared. They got cleared by public health because it came out negative, went home, and infected other people.
Yep.
Okay?
Because they thought, oh, I'm clear.
Right.
I'm good to go.
Right.
They told me.
Yeah.
So
they relied on that, honestly.
Guys, be prepared. Be prepared. Our cases are going to go up.
For a wave.
Yes.
And you know what? And don't be surprised if the government says, look at that, you guys. I wanted to keep everything locked down, and because everyone was complaining and everybody went out, that is the reason why that the cases went up. They are going to blame you all.
Mm-hmm. When we
for
know
their error.
We've been adults and we've been taking care of ourselves and making sure that we don't, do the normal things, right?
Mm-hmm.
What is it called? Our responsibility as a human being.
And she's going to blame the legislature.
Yeah, she'll blame the legislature. She'll blame the people of Guam. And then she'll say, everybody's going through the same thing. No,
she did.
We're not.
She did say that.
I know.
Mm-hmm.
We are not all going through the same thing, Governor.
Yeah, Governor, your gold plate is different from my paper plate.
Exactly. Hey.
You like that?
Yeah, I like that.
Your gold plated or real gold plate is different from my paper plate.
I love that so much. It's even a Dixie plate, right?
Yeah.
It's like the flimsy. The one
Yeah,
you need
it's
three
not
at a
foam.
time.
Yeah, it's not
Yeah.
foam.
I thought so. Yeah, 3 at a time just to carry the red rice. My goodness. We just got a response on our 10-day extension. Today was the 10th day.
Okay.
On the FOIA of more documents from the governor's office.
And nothing?
In the whole hotel. No, we got it. It just
All
came in
right.
right now. And so we are going to get off the air, and we're going to prepare for tonight's show, where we'll have more news, and we're going to digest these documents. So,
And if you're hungry, if you don't have any food, please call my cell phone, 797-7082.
for Kandit, I'm Troy Torres.
And I'm Johnny Rosario. See you later.
Until a couple more hours.
Do you